me at the Radio Compound in Orange, California. And you're out with the Sunday Blues. We're going to be introducing some local blues artists to you guys. We're going to bring in a new way for you guys to check out this music that's coming out. And you would think, there's a lot of great things about this station, that it's all the local bands that get pushed on here and stuff. And it gives them a great outlet to do that. Well, along with the great metal scene that's here in Orange County, and it's a great metal scene, a lot of punk bands, a lot of good rock and roll bands. There's also an amazing blues scene here that I've discovered over the past year, and that's why I'm here on the radio here and kicking it at c4oc.net to share that with you guys, so you guys can get a little glimpse into that. One of my pals here, they're going to pop up some videos for you in a little bit, and we're going to bring in some special guests to discuss a lot of things going on in the community, a lot of things that you as artists can do to help promote yourselves, especially getting on radio stations like C4OC and all the other ones out there. There's a lot of great things you guys can do, and you don't have to think that your music isn't right for the rest of the people just because it's not punk rock or metal or whatever. Most of the greatest musicians out there play all kinds of music, and a lot of guys I know that are in big metal bands, they're out there playing some blues or jazz or whatever. Music defines everything. It's the only thing in this entire planet that we all have in common that can bring us together to overlook all of our fucking differences. And I can tell you today, more importantly than any other time in history, that matters. And you want to fight all this bullshit that's going on in the world? You want to fight all the negativity and all the differences between all of us? Go fucking support the music scene. Get out there and feel good and step out of yourselves for a minute, because that's why people like myself, people like C4OC and Denny Ray and Motor Gun Hotel and so many other bands out there go and play, because we're trying to get you to not think about your crap in your life for just a moment and realize that life is not about that crap. It's about being happy, because happiness is the fucking key to life. So right now, popping up on this here channel, by the way, check this out. Oh, that's all me. That's professional right there. That's right. Yeah, they went to a big effort here to make sure that this was going to go off. So we're going to make this one fucking hell of a great show. We want you guys to fucking go tell your friends, share the shit out of this right now, because it's about to go off in here. So popping up here on the video channel is a local band. Fucking love these guys. They're an amazing band. Check them out on YouTube. Go to Facebook and check them out. Featuring members of the Cadillac Tramps and many others. This is Santos Ya Sinners. Yeah. For you, Brian Coakley.
Yep, let me know when they cut out on this one. This one actually is 26 minutes. Do some commentary.
See, this is such a great lineup right here. This is a whole fucking Orange County legendary lineup right here of some of the finest guitar players this fucking planet has ever seen. You can't barely tell off here in the corner. I do believe that's Brian Coakley kicking it over there with his little scarf. You got fucking EV right there, the baddest harp player on the planet. Pretty much. I mean, he plays with everybody. Kid Ramos. And these are names you're going to want to look up. Eric Von Husen. You want to check him out? He plays with everybody. You want to check out Brian Coakley. There he is, doing his little dance. Right? Oh, man, you got so many great people. This was such an amazing show. I was actually there that night, and that was a tearjerker. It was a benefit. And that was basically a memorial, for Gabby, the singer of Cadillac Tramps, who passed away. Fighting a good fight with cancer, kicking ass. always one to look up to, for sure. Always brought a good time. He was one of those guys that always brought you out of yourselves when you went and saw him play. You hear that? Eat that up. Eat that up. Get on YouTube and check out Santos y Sinners.
You can play the same video we're playing right now?
Yeah, you can do it right at home, right now. You can support these guys.
Sound like a big secret where I got this from.
Didn't they play the benefit?
They did, yeah. They played the Rock and Blues jam we had down in Santa Ana, along with Paladins and like, so many amazing bands. You got Johnny Main on the stage up here, another, well, he's over here, but another amazing, talented guy. He's got a band called the 44s, and you do want to go check them out. When these guys play live, it's you're not thinking about shit. You're at that show, you got all that great energy, people are dancing. That's right, kids. That's what you do when you go to a show and great music's being played. You fucking dance, right? That's what I'm talking about. If they make you move your feet, get out of your seat. That's good shit. And this is all good shit. You want some more good shit? Go check out Harless Sweetwater Band. That's one phenomenal man, I'll tell you what. And all these guys are not just great musicians. They're tremendous people in person. I met them all. I consider them all friends. You know, if they called me and needed me, I'd fucking be there in a heartbeat. Just because they're fucking great people. And that's how the Orange County scene is. Yeah, that's how the Orange County scene is. You know, you get through all the bullshit and you meet the real guys out there playing that real music, that real stuff that moves you. And I got a very special guest here today. And we had a band that was going to be coming in, the Dead End Friends. Unfortunately, they had a real bad accident on the way here, so, you know, you're in our thoughts, man, and we'll get you guys back in here at some time. But last minute, a man I call my friend, and I'm going to have him come in here right now, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the history, because this man was around right when it was kicking off. Man, Sunset Strip was just jumping off, and this guy was right dead center in the center of it. He plays in so many bands, it's hard to name them all. He plays in C4OC. He's played with me. Went on tour with me. Fucking amazing drummer, amazing person. Coming out here right now. I want you to give it up for Pops.
Pops.
Oh, Pops.
Oh!
Yeah. Pops. Bro, thank you for coming over.
What's happening, everybody?
And doing this with us.
Thank you.
The
It's
Crow.
my pleasure.
Right there, you
My
know.
pleasure.
Right? So, yeah, I want to, been curious for a while now, like, what was, like, the first, well, I know what got me into music in the first place, and it was as stupid as it is, and I don't really listen to it much anymore, but my first Kiss record is what captivated me to even think about music in my life. I never got into playing it until later in my life, but it was the first thing that I was able to escape to from the life I was living at the time as a kid, you know. So I think a lot of people that get into music and stuff, it's a great escape for them. So I mean, how did you?
Well, you know, I like to say that music is my thing that helps me escape from the nightmare reality of my life.
Right.
So, and that's what it is. For most people, I think that's what it is. You know, bad times, good times. We've all had our share, right? I mean, lyrics are lyrics. But, you know, lyrics sometimes tell a real story. So, and that's what it is.
That's for sure. What was the first instrument you ever picked up that got you?
First instrument I ever played was a cello.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wanted to be in a band because, and the reason why I wanted to be in a band is because you could skip some of the classes and you could go to band, right? And I always thought everybody in band was just there. They played around on instruments. They didn't really do nothing. So, you know, I played the cello, and that's what I did. And I really didn't do nothing, you know. And the class really didn't do anything. It was just, I mean, you know, we were all 11 years old, you know. And then for some reason, I kind of wanted to play something else. So in junior high school, I said, well, I'd like to play the saxophone because I was into the rhythm and blues back then, you know. And so I thought, okay, I could be a saxophone player.
Did you have like a specific artist that really got you into that?
Well, I kind of liked Cannonball Adderley. There was a couple of other saxophone players that were out that were, you know, and they had their own albums of instrumental music, you know, but it was still rhythm and blues, soul music, and I really liked that. So, but when I went to school, they had no more saxophones, they had no more baritone sax, alto sax, any of that. So he said, well, you could play the bass clarinet. And so here I am in this band. It was kind of like a 50s, you know, the horns and everything, big band thing. And I sat there and I had my little thing where, you know, the rest of the wind section, and I played, and it was, you know, it never really blew my skirt up. So I kind of dropped out of that, and then I had no interest in music. And then that summer, I ran into some people that, you know, turned me on to some other soul music, and so I thought, okay, this is very cool, you know, soul music. And so I did some doo-wop in the soul band where I sang the backup, and it was, you know, the doo-wop,
Nice.
you know. And so I did that for about a year, and then, but in the meantime, I started talking to this guy who was a drummer, and his name was Denny. That's where my son got his name. His name was Denny, and he said, well, I'll teach you how to play the drums. So I would go over to his house, and he would show me some stuff on the drums. And for a minute, I would be interested, and then after that, I'd be like, show me how to play the drums, you know. So he showed me how to play Louie Louie. And so that was the first song I ever played, was Louie Louie. And I pulled it off, so then after that, I wanted to be a drummer. So that's how that all came about. So, long story short.
That's right. Yeah, actually, my first time on stage singing was in Hawaii. It was a karaoke contest, and the guy that was putting it on was one of the singers for the Ink Spots. And I ended up hanging out with that guy every night I was in Hawaii, just listening to old stories about the shows they used to do and stuff in his band. And he goes, I can't believe you even know who I am. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, dude, I fucking love old school music for me. It's old school for me, but I mean...
Well, my mom, she sang backup for Mahalia Jackson until she got pregnant with my big sister, and that was the end of that. So.
See, any of the names that you guys hear us pop off here, definitely write them down. Go check them out. It's going to fucking change your life.
Yeah, Mahalia Jackson, she was a...
Google it.
She sang religious songs, you know, she was, and, you know, she sang in the choir, and yeah, she was pretty
A
hot.
lot of those songs, though, come from, like, early gospel stuff, too, when they were writing, like, those really rootsy type of, oh, man, I was watching
Well, yeah, some of that Mahalia Jackson stuff, I mean, it grabs your heart. I mean, even though it's religion.
Well, it's traditional, like,
You know, it's
but
still-
I mean,
gospel
it's one of those
music, like I
songs
said,
that-
it's
they
the
make
root.
songs that just can't carry through generations, and
Yeah.
she wrote some of those that are just like, everybody's going to always redo it, you know, because you want to keep that in the circle of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and if you're really into music, and I know there's a lot of kids out there nowadays that say they're into music, but they don't know the history of music, you know, and that's the thing that we got to keep going, is that history of the music, because that's what the music is all about. You know, that's what makes people want to go out there and do punk rock. That's what makes people want to go out there and do soul music, or the blues, or just regular classic rock and roll, or whatever it is. And there's a lot of artists that are in the rock and roll that have blues roots, like Eric Clapton. I mean, you go check out Cream.
Oh, yeah.
That's rock and roll to the bone.
Right.
I don't know why my eyes are watering. But you go check out Cream, and that's rock and roll in its fullest. But then you check out Eric Clapton in his later days. He's Mr. Bluesman now,
Sure.
you know. And there's a lot of other people like that. Led Zeppelin, I hate to call them out, but they stole a lot of music that they went to court for under the plagiarism law. that came from down home Southern blues, Texas blues, Mississippi blues.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't realize there's so many genres of blues too, because you can generalize it like you could generalize metal, but then you'd have like 10 million kids going, well, there's this kind of metal and this kind of like punk rock too is the same
And
way.
you talk to a blues man.
And the styles of playing are completely different.
Yeah, you
know?
talk to real blues people. Texas blues is so much different than Mississippi
Delta,
blues,
yeah.
than Chicago blues.
Yeah.
There's New York blues. There's the blues that comes out of
St. Louis.
Tennessee. That's way different. There's rockabilly blues.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on and on. So when people talk blues, it's not sure it's a general term like rock and roll is a general term, but if you really want to know, you got to get in there, you got to dig in there, and you got to find out about it. I mean, you got to do shit like I've done shit like I saw Rolling Stones in 1972 in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I thought, wow, this is a killer show. And then my band was supposed to play in Denver, Colorado the next night, the band that I was in at that time. They were called the Lawyers. We all dressed up in suits.
100,000.
But the show got canceled. So we had nothing to do, so we thought, well, fuck, we'll go see the Rolling Stones. And man, that show was so much different than the Salt Lake City show. I mean, it just blew my mind. And right then I was like, oh, I never want to get out of this business. I never want to leave rock and roll. So, and that's how that happens, I mean, but I like blues. I play the harmonica because I'm a blues. My roots are blues.
It's music though, because you have so many instruments that you can deal with and stuff. So that's really important for any of the kids out there. Like, don't be afraid if you don't think it's a cool instrument or whatever. It's just getting as much knowledge as you can about what you're really into, And if that means learning fingering through an accordion, fucking go do that. Who cares?
We had punk bands in here where they had violins.
Sure.
And what else?
Flute players.
What else did Darky Dark bring? He brought a violin player. And,
Yeah, it was a fiddle player.
Yeah, a fiddle player. I mean, and it was still
Steampunk.
punk rock.
But it's called steampunk.
Steampunk. There you go.
And then,
Very good.
guys like blues guys like Kid Ramos is in a band called Los Fabulocos. They got a little accordion player, because it's that high energy Spanish party music. It's like really, it's pretty bitchin'. I've had them play a few times.
And we have a friend here, a friend of C4OC Radio, Chico. He plays in a punk band.
Oh,
he
yeah.
plays in.
Yeah.
Well, how many bands does that dude play in? 5?
3 or 4.
And Dale Wilson.
Yeah, he's in a bunch too.
He's in 5 bands.
Little Crispy Chris.
There's so much
Crispy Chris. How many
crossover now.
bands has that kid?
Chris
How long has
Bond.
that kid been around?
Chris is silly. He's been around as long as I can remember.
I remember
and
when he was
plays
a teenager.
every freaking instrument.
He plays
like,
everything.
and good. Not just like he
Not
can play.
mediocre. He's good.
He really is. He's there you go, Chris. So hook me
Yeah.
up there, buddy.
And, he told me, one day I'll sit down and I'll play this all day long. The next day I'll sit down and I'll play this all day long. Of course he's good at everything. Yeah. And he's this tall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a cool
He's a
guy.
cool kid. I love that kid.
So what was like? So you got into the Lawyers. That was like your first big gig.
Yeah, that was my first really big band. Like I said,
Sure.
I played in a band before that. We did some school gigs. We played Louie Louie and a bunch of songs like that. Which was really easy to learn. I think there were like 3 chords. There's no lead in none of the old songs back in the day. It was basically based on lyrics. Those old songs back in the day.
Harmonies and stuff.
Yeah, harmonies and lyrics, to tug at your heart or to make you feel good and all that shit. So, yeah.
Sure.
But then,
if you're driving, you want to hear about heartbreak.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier a little bit about some songs that are out there, and when you're a kid and you hear these songs, you think it says one thing, and you find out later on it means something completely
Oh,
different.
dude. Embarrassing moment for me. I went for a long time thinking that this one song, the lyrics said one thing. And so after I heard that set of lyrics, I never listened to the rest of the song because I thought, okay, I don't like these guys anymore. This is a racist song.
What song was
I'm a very liberal person, but I can't enjoy this anymore.
Who was it?
Well, I don't know if I should name the name of the band.
It's okay. We're on the net. We can do whatever.
Okay, Doobie Brothers.
Doobie
That's
Brothers.
fine.
You want me to call them out? Doobie Brothers.
What song was
What was
that?
his name?
I don't know, but the one lyric I thought was "Oh Black Walter."
Walter!
Oh, Black Water.
Yeah.
Who's Walter?
And then so finally I discussed it with my son years later, and he said, "No, Dad, they're singing Old Black Water,
Yeah.
Mississippi rolling."
Yeah.
And I thought,
Sing about Riverboat.
okay, now that makes a whole lot more sense. And boy, do I look like an idiot standing here in front of all these people in my son right now, thinking that the Doobie Brothers had gone racist on me. One of the best hit bands in the 60s, I thought had gone racist on me. And then the other song that I used to hate was the one, "Oh Black Betty." Because some of the lyrics in that were kind of, you know. And my friend Kevin Ringler, he's the one that persuaded me to listen to that song again and take another one.
That was awesome.
So I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely write in and
We
give
definitely need to
us
write a
your
song
songs
about
that you were misrepresented by.
Songs that you thought the lyrics were one thing and they turned out to be something else.
Wrapped up like a douche.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a misheard line.
Oh my God.
The Runner in the Night, Blinded by the Light.
See, all this time I thought it was a boner in the light.
We don't know what you're talking about, man for man. You should shut up.
Either
But it is
that.
a catchy tune.
Shoot us a kite and tell us what that meant, man for man.
Well,
On
yeah,
the-
he said somebody said
It's
Springsteen wrote
both.
it.
It's both. It's Bruce Springsteen's song, and he says deuce in his song. But in Manfred Mann, it's still written deuce, but they thought they'd be funny, and they say douche.
Right,
And
and they certainly
They're
do.
singing the song.
Oh, they're funny, all right.
Douche. It's hilarious.
You got
They
all of
it.
America going, singing the wrong lyrics to the songs. They're just like,
Just think of all the girls that thought, I don't need a douche. I haven't had sex in
I
months.
thought it said douche too. I didn't.
A very famous cover song, right
I remember I was riding down the road one day with my brother. It was my first day learning how to ski, and I'm riding back in their car in the back seat of this car, and him and his friend are driving, and we're listening to the radio, and all of a sudden it fucking hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, and I'm kind of buzzed because they made me drink, and I was like, I don't know, fucking 13 or 14, and I'm all, oh my God, and they're all, what? And I'm all, songs are stories people are writing. And they were all,
No shit.
yeah. What did you think they were? I'm like, I don't know, like nursery rhymes. They're just fucking retarded, something to repeat yourself all day or something. I don't know. What the fuck? They don't make any sense.
I never
Who puts a
knew-
cradle in a tree? Right? You shouldn't be parents if you're rocking a cradle in a tree in the first place.
That's fun.
That's my thought on it. I don't know. There's a lot of weird fucked up ones, man. And you know, that's
nursery
and that's
rhymes
where
have such weird
oh
fucking
man, they're
lyrics.
creepy as
And you
shit.
teach them to your little kids, and then when
But that's
you
where
sit
great,
back and you think
that's where
about
great
it.
metal lyrics come from. Is old nursery rhymes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like Marilyn Manson's at home. You Jack be nimble, motherfucker. Just writing shit out.
I believe you might be right there.
So all right. So what's going on with you nowadays? What are you kicking it out?
Well, you know,
When can people come and check you out?
people can check me out during the week, Monday through Friday, under my pseudonym, The Crow. I have a tribute band radio show that I play that comes on at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
A tribute band. All the bands are.
All the bands that pay tribute to, like Metallica, Dokken,
Wow.
Sin Lizzy.
Yeah.
What are some of the bands you got going on?
We have Black Rose, the
Yeah.
Lizzy tribute band. That's excellent. Every time I see them, they get better and better.
Now, do they have a Huey Lewis harmonica player?
No.
Did you know that? Huey Lewis was the harmonica player for Thin Lizzy.
I didn't know.
Look on one of the Thin Lizzy albums, he's listed. Huey Lewis harmonica player, and I went, what?
Wow. Wasn't he?
Now you know.
Dominated the strip.
Wasn't he a New York police officer or something?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Or, no, that was Eddie Money. New
Oh,
York
yeah, Eddie
police
Money was a
officer.
cop.
Turned cop.
Yeah, there's some weird stories in rock and roll. Some of these guys have done some strange stuff. Really interesting
Hey,
stories.
speaking of weird stories, I can tell you a weird story about a time I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I was at this. It was like a big rock and roll club, like Malone's or whatever. 2 stages, blah blah blah. And I'm there, and the night before, Journey had played at this big place called the Salt Palace, which holds like 25,000 people, big arena, blah blah blah.
Perry in his prime, just
Yeah. So,
sure.
and so this is the next night, mind you, and I'm there, and I walk up to the bar and I order me a drink, and this guy walks up, and he's got 2 chickies on each arm, right? And it was Steve Perry, but at the time I thought, hey, look at this guy. And so I get my beer, and he solders up to the bar, and he's kind of giving the people shit because he can't buy a hard liquor because it was Utah, and this was in the 70s,
Oh,
and all you could buy was beer. Every bar was a beer bar, unless you went to a private club, which was a whole nother thing. So anyway, we're there, and I get my beer, and I turn around, and I go, dude, you look like Steve Perry. And he goes, well, it's because I am Steve Perry. And I go, get the fuck out of here, dude. I go, you can give that to these 2 little chickies right here because you want to go have some fun. I go, but I'm not buying that shit, man. I go, but I'll give it to you. You look like Steve Perry. And I started to walk away, and he goes, no, man, I really am Steve Perry. You want me to prove it to you? I go, yeah, prove it, dude. He goes, come with me. I go outside. There's a fucking Journey van sitting, taking up parking spaces all over the parking lot. It says Journey in big, huge fucking letters down the side. And he takes me in and proceeds to get me just fucked up as he can.
wow.
Yeah. So that's my story of Steve
You know,
Perry.
he sure sounds like a guy who went to a really extreme just to make people think he's Steve Perry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a bus.
We got a tour bus,
Jesus.
bunch of drugs.
Spent a lot of money to make it convincing, but he convinced me, so I said, okay, dude,
You are
you're Steve
Steve
Perry.
Perry.
Let's party on, dude.
He looked at the chicks. He's all, I told you we should have rented this bus.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good time that night.
Nice.
Also, I can impress the crow. I did all of that.
Exactly. Oh, but back on the other subject. So I do that show Monday through Friday. It starts at 2:00. I play in the C4OC band. I've played in with you.
Which
I
I have
hope
on
we'll be able
right
to
now.
do again
Yeah.
sometime.
Those guys.
And you know, I do all that. I play in the Danny Ray Project. I jam with everybody that I can, whoever comes and wants to play. As you can see, there's always some sort of drum set up here.
If you don't mind me asking how old you are.
I'm 167 years old.
Yeah.
I was born May 16th, 1851.
Fucking vampire.
I sleep 2 hours a day.
That's awesome. See, you two can still be active. All you kids out there, you're too lazy to do anything. 160-some years old. Banging away on drums.
You have
Multiple
to wear a hat.
bands.
You have to wear a hat, and you have to smoke
Touring musician.
weed daily.
Runs a
Lots
radio
and lots
show
of weed.
every
We
day.
daily. Yeah.
Local bands and keeping the music alive. These guys are the ones who put it out there for you.
Plus,
These
I
guys-
love to cook. I am a
Yeah.
chef. I have my catering company, Suds and Buds, which nobody fucking bothers to call me anymore. I wonder why.
Where'd they go?
Bitching over.
Maybe it's because it's great places to use meat.
Yeah, but I have to admit, there is someone who is taking my place, and they're doing a very, very good job of it. And I have no complaints because he keeps his meat in my mouth, so I have no complaints.
Wow, that sounded.
Well, I'm thinking I might have to make this a G-rated show.
Oh, Steve's Meats.
Steve's
Speaking
Meats.
of meat in the mouth.
Here.
As a matter of
I
fact,
agree.
I believe this show is sponsored by Steve's Meats,
Nice.
along with Libre Spirits
Oh.
and Guitar Grips, Schaller, S-Locks. Who else?
Metal
Damn
Bed
it.
Mayhem.
Metal Bed Mayhem. Damn it. It's so many. 4 Drums.
Dean Markley strings.
Big Markley Strings.
Team Small. See, I gave you a pump. I want to see a case of those things on my porch tomorrow. Challenging.
Go to the Doll Hut, go to Centerfield, go to the Slide Bar, go to any of these places. A lot of these places have free shows, folks. So, as a matter of fact, there's one going on at the Doll Hut after this. Homeless benefit, great. Orange County Burrito Project, great benefit. Go there this evening. Just saying, there's a lot of things we do every night.
Yep. Or meet us in Lake Havasu on Friday night. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't miss that.
Party town.
And aren't you somewhere else the next night?
Bullhead City.
There you go.
Lazy Larry's. I decided I came on. I got to look.
Metal Bay Mayhem.
Metal Bed Mayhem's got some blues going on.
Yeah, going over the 44s.
Hey, that actually was working pretty well. It was working real well with the music, though, that's the thing. See?
Oh,
Crossovers.
I'll put the GoFundMe in a link so that they can, in the link on
Nice.
Facebook.
So there's a link on Facebook. The GoFundMe for the radio station is on there. Get on that shit. Music brought to you by Johnny Made of the 44s.
And if you don't want to, just go on and give us $1 at the GoFundMe because you want to be at the show on the 17th. Hey, peace out to you. Come on out. Come on out. Support.
Win something cool.
It's going to be a righteous time. I want to thank you guys for joining me for Sunday Blues with the Bone Daddy. We'll see you next month. Pass this on to your friends. Support your local music. God bless
Treat
you.
us like pass around Patty.